again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 38 for October 28th, 2012. My name's Tony, and I'm joined by Mark.
Just Mark.
Today's a little different. We're going to have to do a really quick episode because Jason couldn't make it, and me and Mark, the company we work for, had a district-wide meeting type thing. So,
which I think our store did ours wrong, but yeah, whatever.
Anyways, it's like already super late, and we both have stuff to do in the morning, and sorry guys, but we wanted to get something out to you guys so you guys could at least have some show, and next week everything will be back to normal.
Working retail during the holidays, things just get so busy.
Yeah.
That's why we're like on and off for me and Jason at least right now.
No bueno.
Tony just doesn't have a life, so he's just here all the time.
Yeah, we are going to do, news. We'll answer your guys' questions, and we'll do a shortened version of the topic of the week, but we're going to skip the tournament until next week when Jason's back.
Jason gave answers, but Jason gives better reasons.
Yeah,
his reasons were lacking, we'll say.
So we'll wait for him, and then we'll re-jump into it.
Yeah, plus they wait for me, I'll wait for him.
Yeah. So we could kick the show off with our line table. It's not a round table today, just me and Mark.
Yeah. Literally this week, busy. I actually checked out from work the new NBA game. I'm not an NBA fan, but literally, like, the presentation of that game is just so freaking good. It makes me jealous of how much all the other sports games have actually been sleeping on making, like, almost perfect sports game for a sport that I'm not really a fan of.
Yeah. Rock on.
It's ridiculous. I've done that. I'm trying to think what else. I actually went back to Sleeping Dogs a little bit. I was going to check out their DLC that came out, but then I looked into it and it looks ridiculous. Like, just like, it's like...
Like in a bad way?
Yeah, it's like almost like in a Saints Row direction. Like, it's supposed to be this, like, ghost of something comes back and then, like, starts raising the dead, and, like, this thing is called, like, a Ghost Kitty or something's name. Literally, I just, like, okay, no. So I was playing this thing, like, the story thing. It's so cool, open world, not... You know, it's like Batman, but in Grand Theft Auto style. So it's still kind of cool.
Fucking A.
And then Faster Than Light.
Never even heard of that.
That was what I talked about last week. Remember the space game where you kind of like die horribly no matter what you do? And, Play a little bit more of that because it's somewhat fun actually, even though you lose every time. I've not beaten the game yet.
Cool.
Yeah.
For me, I bought Medal of Honor.
How are you liking it?
No good.
No good. Really?
It's okay. It's I don't know. It's not. I loved the reboot a few years back. It had a lot of problems. I'm not trying to say it was a great game, but it was an amazing story. So I had a lot of fun with it. This one, they just seemed like they missed the ball on, like really bad. I'm not gonna keep it. I'm getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I have like 1 or 2 levels left, unless something happens in the last half hour of the game that just blows my mind. It's not a very good game. I also bought Forza Horizon, but I haven't played it yet.
That one got much better reviews than Medal of Honor.
They came out the same day, and I'm trying to get the thing so I can return it.
$30 or 30 more or whatever. Yeah, like $35.
Yeah. Whereas Forza, I know I'm going to keep it, so I decided to leave that sealed. The other game I checked it out from work was Resident Evil 6. It was too long of a campaign for me to actually finish the game. I had to bring it back, but I did finish Leon's section of the game, and it's the best Resident Evil that's coming out in a long time. At least for me. I really dug it. I know I was talking a lot really bad about it, and I did not like 5. I'm very vocal about that.
See, I liked 5, and then I didn't like the demo.
You might not like 6 then, because I did not like 5. And I only played. To be fair, I only played Leon's section. There's literally 3 campaigns that the story goes parallel, so all 3 things are happening at one time, and you'll just see it from 3 different characters' perspectives.
Yeah.
And they actually intertwine in like.
Yeah, I've heard there's like co-op missions where you can go, like you can play as like Leon and
Helena. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one we did.
Yeah.
Then there's the 2 characters.
Co-op with the stories intermingled, so it's up to like 4-player co-op or something. Then.
Well, because you could also play with the 2 characters. I can't think of their names. Chris Redfield and the chick, whatever. You actually run across them 2 times throughout Leon's campaign. So I'm assuming when you play Chris's campaign, then you'll run into Leon at the same 2 parts. They like all happen at the same time. But so far, what I've played, I've dug it. I'm going to check it back out from work in another few weeks, and I'll do another campaign, and I'll keep you guys updated. But For as much shit as I talked about it, Resident Evil 6 actually is not too bad. I mean, I enjoyed it so far. So I liked it a hell of a lot better than Resident Evil 5. I could say that. So.
Is it just like the control scheme?
Everything about it. They cleaned. There's a lot of stupid stuff, like really stupid stuff. Like there's way too many cutscenes. Like they stopped the action.
It's Capcom.
Way too much. Like there's this thing at the end. Spoiler free, I promise. But you're getting on a helicopter. So there's a cutscene. No, excuse me. You walk up to the helicopter. There's a cutscene for 30 seconds. Then it throws you back into the action and has you rewalk 3 steps back to the helicopter and then hit X, because I play it on Xbox, and then there's another cutscene. It's like, why was that
even necessary?
And there's so many of those. That's just the one that's freshest in my mind because I did it earlier today. But it's just, there's so many of those dumb things where it's like, it's poor game design. It really is. But it's a fun experience.
Do you think should have gotten higher reviews?
No, because it got in between 4. I think it was like a 6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it as low as 3.5. So.
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't played the other campaigns yet. They might be terrible, and Leon was the only redeeming
each of the campaigns, from what I hear, is supposed to have like a little elements in it. So like one's more of a survival horror, one's more of an action, that kind of thing.
That's why I'm saying I don't know for sure yet. But from Leon's campaign, a lot of fun.
I did hear Leon's was one of the better ones.
So there you have it. That might have been the one that brought it up from. I mean, so yeah. I'll get back to you guys on it when I play a little bit more.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. We didn't want to go all the way to Jason's because we've been recording there with his studio and stuff. So we're actually recording off a different mic. So if we sound a little goofy or a little different, sorry. But next week it'll be back to normal.
I'm glad you kept this microphone. Mm-hmm. I returned mine.
Yeah. So
good times.
This might sound a little different or whatever. But like we said, next week everything will be back to normal.
Maybe maybe the world will end.
Maybe the world will end. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
I also was making up my kind of Christmas list of things to get. I'm actually probably gonna put Spec Ops on there.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at I don't know if anyone watches Total Biscuit on YouTube. It's this British guy. He's freaking hilarious. He actually did kind of like his main series is What the Fuck Is, and he did that. And he actually made it seem pretty cool, so I'm gonna check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also said the story was awesome. So there you go. That's
from
one
you.
of my games.
From you, I just check it out for 3 days.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah.
Rock on. So yeah, that's what we've been playing.
Cool. We're gonna go into some news. So, first one. This one. Oh man, I hate it so much. G4 by the end of the year will be canceling X-Play and Attack of the Show, which are 2 shows that have been going on for a long time. X-Play I think is a lot longer, but it's crap.
Yeah, I don't have G4 anymore, or maybe I think it's at my parents still. I have to go there when I want to watch something like for E3 and stuff. So I don't really care. I haven't seen this in forever, but I don't know. G4 as a whole never really picked up steam. Never really worked out.
Really? I mean, when I was growing up, it was like, oh, the cool, kind of like Geek Network, and I don't know. It was, I don't know.
You know what would have been a better idea? Would have been to like partner with Spike and offer 4 or 5 programs on Spike that are video game and geek related, as opposed to dedicating an entire network. I think it would have been a little bit better if you could like tune in 2 or 3 hours a week to Spike for a really interesting show, as opposed to 24-hour nonstop, because they had nothing to talk about anymore. It was I
mean, they had that show. I mean, they had the Ninja Warrior was theirs.
They had to resort to stuff like Code Monkeys, which is a great show and funny, awesome. And I enjoyed it. But I mean, you have to do cartoons just to fill the time. I don't know.
They needed more original content. They were trying to be like led off by a few shows,
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. And then this next story I know will make you happy.
Yes.
Ratchet & Clank Full Frontal Assault, which I think is a hilarious name because I think about it in very bad ways.
Well, that's what they're meant to be. They're like those double... Yeah, they have like size matters and...
Going Commando.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, this is the newest one that's coming. It's actually... I don't know if it's on disc or if it's download only, because I think it's only $20 or $30.
Yeah.
So it might be akin to what they came out with early in the PS3's life cycle, which was Quest for Booty. Which is another one.
Yeah.
That was their pirate-themed one. And so I think it might just be a download-only game. That thing was a lot of fun. It was 5-6 hours. It was kind of like a little mini-release. Real good time. This looks good, and it's also, if anybody's interested, it's also going to be crossplay. Or cross-buy.
Between Vita and...
Yeah, so if you buy it on one, you got it on both.
Oh, very
so
nice.
it's one of those titles.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking really forward to it. I'll have day one reviews for you guys if anyone cares, because Ratchet and Clank I bite on immediately.
Yeah.
So,
next story. GameStop's opening up a new kind of chain, I guess. It's called GameStop Kids. They're opening up about 80 stores. I think Illinois is getting 2 of them. Most of them are in California and Texas, from what I saw. They're basically going to be like a cross between a game and kind of an accessory, kind of like, plush, clothing, kind of stuff like that. They're going to have mainly Skylanders, Angry Birds, the Lego games, Star Wars, and Minecraft, from what I hear, are going to be kind of like their major accessories and games and stuff. And apparently they are going to have, I found out today from our convenient meeting, that they will actually have about like the big, like they'll have like the big titles, like the animated ones, but they'll actually be like locked up behind, like, you have to ask for it. They won't be on display. But they will have them. It just, everything on the floor is going to be made for kids, kind of thing, like E10, I guess.
it actually sounds kind of cool if they would have had a little bit of everything, but more like a swag store. Like, I'd love it if there was one of these even somewhere in Chicago where I can go and get some cool T-shirts or go get, like, some figurines, some collectibles, stuff like that. But it seems, for the most part, it's going to be very kid-centric, so, which is fine. I mean, that's where we all started as gamers, so, I mean, let them have their thing. But I think it'd be cool if it was just more like we sell some video games, but,
there might be a crap ton of Mario stuff, too.
You want a giant Mario plushie, that'd be a cool place to go get it, though, and stuff, so.
Yeah, so it might be a cool idea. These are not going to be around past holidays, from what I hear currently. They're kind of like a trial thing, so if it does well, yours might stay, the one down the street might not. They're not that close, but like literally from where we're at, there's going to be one in Joliet, and then there's going to be one up, like, in the city kind of thing. Like, they're far away. That's like an hour drive, so they're not going to be close or anything. But they're going to be only in malls, so you'll have to go to a mall to actually go to it.
Rock on. Oh, so their trial periods, like, they might be like those Halloween stores that are only up for a few months, and then...
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Rock on.
Super Mario 64 is just got a co-op mode for its PC version, which is kind of cool. If you I guess this is basically if you get the PC version of it, so you're using your emulated copy of it. There's actually a mod out there where you can do a 2-player co-op function, which is kind of cool. So you can go through the old Mario 64 with a friend.
Yeah, it looks great. It looked like a lot of fun. I was watching the video and the promo for it and whatnot. And the only question is, because what they basically did was they re-skinned Mario in like a black and burgundy.
Yeah.
A different color of Mario, which was the only mistake this guy made. Because if you make a 2-player Mario, why didn't you just color Mario green and put an L on his hat and have it be Mario and Luigi?
Yeah, I for some reason he did not think of that.
He thought of everything. It works great. It actually looked like it flowed really well too.
Yeah.
But he's just got 2 different shaded Marios playing
one
co-op.
of them is like a black shade, and it does look funky in comparison to how bright the game is.
Yeah.
But cool. If you got a friend, bring him over. Play some Super Mario. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's free as well, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. There you go. There you have it.
My last story of the day, I found this one kind of interesting. Assassin's Creed's actually getting its own clothing line. So far, only Europe, Asia, and Australia have kind of bid on it, I guess. It's going to go from like coats, shirts, and even pants. The only one they showed is this kind of like coat-looking thing. It didn't look like it was Assassin's Creed related at all for the most part. But yeah, so clothing line.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed is far and away Ubisoft's Call of Duty. They're whoring the shit out of this. They just recently announced they're trying to do the movie as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they're turning into yearly and sometimes two titles a year. This year there's 3. This year there's 3 Assassin's Creeds. There's Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Liberations.
Yeah, what's awesome.
And the Ezio triple pack. 3 brand. It's rehashed, but it's a new SKU. It's a new disc that they had a brand.
I can understand that though. Yeah, there are for people who haven't actually played all of Assassin's Creed or any of it. It's weird the dating of it because like the date is it Call of Duty Day or Halo Day? I think it's the trilogy. The trilogy pack comes out 2 weeks after. I really want to say it's Call of Duty Day.
That was a huge misstep. They should have launched it before Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, but you can pick up the entire Ezio trilogy, which is 2 Brotherhood and Revelations for $30 or $40 or something. And it's a pretty good offer, I guess, if you haven't played them. So.
It's a really good deal if you were going to go back to them anyway, because even to get them all pre-owned, they're still about $10 a piece. So might as well get them new, all on one Blu-ray if you owe a PS3, and just be done with
I
it.
might do 2 Blu-rays.
I don't know, sure.
Yeah, but yeah, because God of War Saga is on 2 discs.
I think that's because they got lazy, not because it didn't fit.
Possibly.
They just reprinted those 2.
That's possible.
Yeah. So.
You would really think that would have been like the not correct choice in that, but you know.
Well, I didn't personally look inside one of those, but I heard it's not even. It's all 5 games, but 2 are download codes.
Yeah, download codes.
2 are on one disc and one's on another. It's just kind of like I thought it was like all 5 smashed on a disc. I was like, that's awesome.
I really think they could have actually put all 4 onto one Blu-ray, and then 3 might have been only on one, but yeah, they probably could have, but whatever. Try to save some money.
Good stuff.
Yeah, kill some paper, trees.
Fuck those trees.
Yeah, fell in my house one time.
Really?
Fell in my boathouse in Wisconsin once.
A tree?
Yeah.
What a bastard.
I know.
Fuck that tree, man.
Yeah, we pushed it right back into the freaking lake.
Yeah,
fuck you.
Take that tree.
Yeah, it's floating around somewhere. Actually, it's probably on my shore right now. But yeah, that's news. Kind of a lame week.
One under Assassin's Creed?
Oh,
it looks like it's the same story.
Yeah. Square Enix is going American and going with the Unreal Engine for its next, all of its Tomb Raider and Final Fantasy games.
See, I knew Tomb Raider was confirmed. I thought, because Square just released a new engine themselves. I don't know what it's called, but it's weird. That's what I found confusing. I figured they were going to go Unreal with all their Eidos games, and because I forgot what their engine's called.
Is that the one that they made for Hitman?
They just made one. And I figured they were going to do all that for the actual Square games, and they were going to kind of.
I got this off GameSpot. They did list both of them.
Yeah.
So
it could, very well could be.
Yeah, because Hitman's got its own engine because that is Square Enix Montreal. Yeah, I guess Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll go with that. So that's what they reported on. I found it interesting, so I put it down here. So, Unreal, runs Gears of War, Unreal Tournaments. Almost every major third-person shooter. It'd be interesting to see a Final Fantasy game in it, really.
It's called Luminous.
Luminous?
I just looked it up on the Googles.
The Googles?
Yeah.
What games are they putting it into?
It becomes the first publicly confirmed...
Unless it's going...
They're saying for Final Fantasy. I don't know. It could go either way. Regardless, they have access to 2 brand new engines in their arsenal. They have the one that they developed, Luminous, as well as Unreal 4, and they're the first team outside of Epic to confirm that they're going to use Unreal 4.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to bite in the coming weeks, but they're the first confirmed case.
Yeah. Unreal 4, it costs $1 million for a studio license, so it's not like throwing around money. But Unreal 4 is going to be badass. It's possible that they might use it for one game. They have so many freaking spin-offs in that series. There's a possibility that they might use it for one game and then use that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Got one of those things. But yeah, so what else have we got today?
Like we said, we're trying to kind of get through everything, so that'll be news. Let's hop into email. Gmail.
We actually have Gmails open today. Usually we write them down. We're that lazy today.
I guess, okay. The first question we have from Stoked. He asked what our thoughts are on the Ben Drown creepypasta.
I had to look this up. Cause
yeah,
no idea at first.
I was watching as well. I hope we're talking about the same thing, and we think you were referring to the ghosts inside of Majora's Mask.
Ghosts, you say?
Ghosts. And for me, I think it's just people screwing around on the internet. I think it's just programming glitches. Like, I don't think there's actually haunted cartridges out there.
That's bull.
Because there's actually if you investigate a little bit on that, there's actual several articles that show where the glitches are. They're actually on every cartridge if you access them right. There's actually
like one of those things, kind of like a hidden thing that you might actually do.
There's actually how-tos where you just pop your cartridge in your N64 and you walk to this certain pixel and you do a certain button combination and you can actually access Link burning himself up and floating and doing that, like all those ghostly armament whatevers. So I mean,
abilities.
yeah. So I mean, it's really interesting and it's fun to watch and it's fun to like kind of get lost in it for a minute or two. But what do I actually think about it? I think it's a bunch of BS. It's just coding. It's just glitches. There's glitches in every game, but I mean, you can't update glitches from a cartridge on a 64 game. You know what I mean? Nowadays, when somebody exposes something like that, a week or two later, the company sends you an update through PSN or XBLA, and you'll not be able to access that anymore because they patch it. But back then, I mean, stuff like that, and that's how rumors get started.
This is kind of a frequent thing in games. I know Halo 2 had theirs. I believe they said I think in 3 there was something about that. Like, literally, just look back, like, the ghost in games kind of, like, history. I mean, it goes really far back at this point. I mean, I'm just kind of surprised that it's coming right now from Majora's Mask, of all of them. But literally, it's very common. The one in Halo, I'm pretty sure, was developer, like, fucking with you kind of thing. And I mean, there's just a few other games. I think I remember hearing one from Fear, like in multiplayer, like Alma would come, like you'd see her randomly at sometimes. It's stuff to easily program in, like that kind of thing of jumping things in is so easy, and it's, I don't know, maybe fun to mess with people. Who knows?
You know what? It kind of hit me late, but there's like a ton of these games. Maybe we could do it another time, where there's like these kind of like urban legends in video games.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin too much now because that actually gave me a great idea for a future segment. But stuff like this is exactly what that is. And there's
that sounds like an awesome segment.
Yeah, there's like
question of the week.
Yeah, there's like these there's a lot of them throughout the course of video gaming. We've been gaming for, almost 3 decades now, but everybody's at least been doing 2 decades.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few of them that have erupted throughout the years on a bunch of games. I think that'd be a really cool segment that we should pop into later. So I hope that answered at least what you were kind of getting at. We'd love to hear what you think. I mean, if you want to drop your thoughts in the comments, that'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Andrew Dillon asked,
this is all caps. Too.
Sorry, that was a question to Jason, and Jason will have to get back to you next week. He actually he gave a pre-given response, but I mean, we'll just wait to talk to him. Okay. Epic asked, "What was your first FPS you ever played?"
I'd have to say mine is probably GoldenEye on 64.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure because I don't remember any of them on the Genesis.
Mine's either Doom or Wolfenstein. I don't remember what I played specifically first.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it was an FPS, and that was like as sad as it sounds, that was like the last gaming computer, because it didn't take much of anything to run a game back then, that I had up until I just built this recent one. So this was like back in, way back in the day. So in between that point, or in between those two things, I was strictly console. But so then the thing that started making me realize they were FPSs, I think that would be the first Medal of Honor on PS1, or
just
like
regular Medal of Honor.
Yeah, like the original one. That was like where your the D-pad, instead of like looking around, actually controlled a cursor. So you didn't when you
rails.
No, when you went left and right, the screen didn't necessarily move left and right until you moved the crosshair all the way to the left, and then the screen would drag. So you were kind of like, directing a plus symbol around the screen on where to shoot. It was a really great game. It wasn't that hard to control back then because you didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But if you try going back to it now, which I actually recently did, no bueno. But or it could have been GoldenEye 64. I don't remember which one I played first.
I'd have to say one of my most fond memories of one of my first FPSs besides GoldenEye, just because you brought it up, was Medal of Honor Frontline.
Oh, that game is so good.
That game was fantastic. I remember it was That was, besides GoldenEye, it was probably my second shooter I ever played was Medal of Honor Frontline. Because I remember coming on the beach of Normandy in the first level.
Just like one of the best scenes.
One of the best, yeah, a little bit.
It's one of the best scenes in video gaming history.
Yeah, and literally, not being a shooter player at that point, actually controlling my M1 Garand was so freaking hard because the entire level, you're like, when you're on the beach, your controller just rumbling. I had no aim whatsoever. I thought I could kill people really, by the way, too, in that, which you kind of sort of can, but not really. But literally, that was one of the best moments ever in early shooting history.
Medal of Honor was so innovative back in the day. That's why it's so sad what that company's gotten gutted.
Yeah.
That franchise has gotten. It's like a shell of its former self. But I mean, back then with the health packs and stuff that nowadays we take for granted because you have self-regenerating health, which is so cheap, but it's just what everybody's used to now, that it's just second nature. You can play
Call of Duty 2 for that. That was the first game to use regenerative health.
Mm-hmm. Well,
which was awesome at the time. Like, this is great.
Well, Halo always did too, but you had to wait. It was on a delay until your shield recharged.
I guess that's true.
But your Halo, your shit's always diminished as well. Like if your shield got knocked down and you got whatever,
yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, that was good stuff. Shout out to Epic also. He was the one that at least first responded with the song of the week. It was a pretty easy one, but nonetheless, it was James Bond in 8-bit. So there you have it. We kind of rushed through them, but
man,
that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to skip the tournament this week because
I was thinking, should we name them off and then have people comment who they think would actually win?
We can, by all means. Go ahead.
All right, cool. That's what we're going to do. So please comment. Just say who you would think would win in each bracket. For the hero bracket, you have the guy from Doom, and it is versus Crash from Crash Bandicoot.
And the guy from Doom is Doom Guy.
Yeah, Doom Guy.
So Doom versus Crash.
Yeah. That is your, I guess, good guy bracket. Mm-hmm. And now for the Tony bracket, otherwise known as the villain bracket, you have Alma from Fear, who we just mentioned a few seconds ago, and Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. That one's going to be an interesting one. I can't wait to actually discuss that one for next week. But my favorite for next week will be the sidekick bracket.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It is Navi from Legend of Zelda.
Hey, listen.
Versus Pikmin.
Nice.
It's so good. I like those two. I can't wait. Please comment on it, and we'll definitely take into consideration for next week.
We'll get into that next week.
Yeah.
All right, that'll bring us up to Tony's topic of the week. All right, Halloween's 3 days away, 4 days away, something like that.
Maybe. I already partied for it. I think it's over. Right?
Yeah, we already celebrated too all weekend. It was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
It's over.
But what I figured we'd do is do a little segment on the creepiest video games that we've played. Kind of do some Halloween and horror themed games. So I figured we'd do more kind of like an open mic thing today. I didn't really do too many bullet points. It's just
free ball it.
Yeah, because it's just me and you anyway. If just free balling, we could talk some. I guess from the beginning of time, if you want to do a little survival horror, a little horror in general, whatever.
Just whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I know for me, a lot of what's been going on is Resident Evil. Obviously, that's the game that I've been playing as of late that kind of coped into it. I was fighting a. No, I don't want to say it because it's too spoilerish. Because that game actually just came out.
Yeah. You were fighting some sort of beast.
Beastoramas. But yeah. How about yourself?
As of recently, I'd have to say at one point I did go back, and this has been a while, probably like 2 months. I did go back and play some of the original Fear games, because those are scary and actually a pretty good shooter too. As for other horror games, I have to say I've always skipped the Silent Hill series. It was always kind of a little bit over the top. As for myself, horror games are alright for me. I'll go with some of them. They're not a huge draw for me, I guess. I did Resident Evil 5. I've not done Resident Evil other than that. Let's see. Left 4 Dead's a horror game.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead's really good. I know your favorite is probably Alan Wake, yeah?
Oh, dude, I totally forgot. Yeah, Alan Wake would definitely be my favorite horror game. For some reason, there's something different about Alan Wake that it's creepy, but it's not to the point where I don't want to play it kind of thing. And yes, Alan Wake. I don't know how I didn't think of that at first. But yeah, Alan Wake definitely.
Yeah, for those who have not played it or are a little unfamiliar with you've ever seen our Facebook page, Mark is actually in his Alan Wake pose.
I am. I have a flashlight
And the pistol.
gun.
Yes. Yeah, I like the Alan Wakes a lot. They're really well made. I'm in the same boat as you. It's not my first choice genre wise for video game. I do enjoy the occasional one. I enjoyed Alan Wake a lot. I enjoy some of the Resident Evils. There's a lot more misses in that series than hits, if you ask me. One of my favorite modes that I talk about, I bring it up every couple weeks, is the zombie mode in the Call of Duties. Is actually one of my favorite add-on or like side modes ever made. I'm looking actually really forward to Black Ops 2 just for the zombies. I really don't care that much about multiplayer, and I'm sure the campaign will be fun for 4.5 hours, but you only play them once and you're done with them. You've seen what there is to see, and there's not really a reason to go back unless you're achievement hunting / trophy hunting.
Pouring.
Yeah. But yeah, the zombie modes on them are excellent. They haven't been the same since World at War, but and like Mark mentioned earlier, I'm a really, really, really big fan of the Left 4 Dead's actually. Those are really cool games. Great co-op, great horror, great sneaker, like a lot of scare factor because I know like one of the main things is like sometimes you don't even know what's going on and like what are they, smokers?
Yeah.
They just like come out of nowhere and grab somebody and pull them in.
Yes, I think those.
Maybe it's not.
No, those are smokers. Yeah, you're right.
And then it's just like you don't even hear anything, and all of a sudden you just hear like your teammates screaming as their AI gets pulled or whatever. It's
Yeah, I'd have to give a
some
shout
great
out
jumps.
to Steam for that as well because it's actually on sale for I think like $5 right now.
Is it?
Yeah. If you don't have them ready, like a lot of the Halloween themed games are on sale. That Killing Floor is on sale for $5 or $2.50 or something like that. There's a bunch of good games on sale, like horror themed, like that.
I also know that a bunch of games get patches this week. I know Team Fortress has been doing this for years. They have this
Oktoberfest or something.
Yeah, they have their thing. Actually, Uncharted 3 hopped on the bandwagon this year as well. If any of you play that game multiplayer wise, they're actually doing double XP this month or this week.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
This week, excuse me.
It's
And there's pumpkin skinned guns, shirts, and all the stuff that if you play in the tournament this weekend, you get to carry over and you can put them on any time of the year if you want.
That's cool.
And if you've unlocked Nathan Drake in the multiplayer, you can actually access a jack-o'-lantern's head instead of Nate Drake's head in the multiplayer.
That's pretty cool. I enjoy kind of things like that.
There's a lot of fun little add-ons that people
Makes
have,
you play at that time of the year.
Yeah, people have a good time with. Uncharted 3. I don't think it's got a decent fan base, but I don't think the following is there like it was from Uncharted 2's multiplayer because it's very new and innovative and stuff like that. Uncharted 3 multiplayer, it's got a following, but it's not as robust as the second one was, so to speak. So
I have to say, for most horror games, if you have a zombie in it, I probably will play it. Like I tried the Dead Rising series. That's not. I don't know. It's horror-esque, but it's not scary in almost any regard. I've tried that. That was alright. I don't know. Rage quit at one point. I'm trying to think the other ones that have had zombies. Dead Island. Dead Island had its creepy moments as well. The zombies themselves were pretty creepy.
Yeah, I'm actually about halfway through Dead Island with one of my buddies. We've been playing a co-op. It is what?
Did he really just throw a pick?
I don't know. No, it was a kick return. Sorry, we're watching Sunday.
We're watching
Sunday Night
watching
Football.
Drew Brees piss us off.
Yeah, because we both have him as our quarterback in fantasy, and he is not doing well.
Doing what he did all year.
But anyway,
Yeah.
shit. What were we talking about?
Boobs and hand jobs.
Boobs and hand jobs.
Yes.
Hand jobs, they are kind of scary. No. Fuck the Dead Island. Dead Island. Yeah, I mean, I'm about halfway through that game. There hasn't really been that many like scary moments per se for me, but yeah, I can see
The sewer scenes, maybe, if anything.
Yeah. Is there anything coming out this year that's like
Not horror, really. I think they're pretty much done right now.
I know it's kind of a spoiler, but it's probably my favorite. if you can I kind of classify it as horror, but it's not horror in the traditional sense, and that's the BioShock universe. Those two add a lot of creepiness factor.
They do.
Something about running through the halls of Rapture,
Dripping,
in that, yeah,
dreary, wet.
just the way that they designed those levels were so cool, because I mean, there's like nothing but a little thin plate of glass separating you from the crushing depths of the ocean.
I don't know how that even works.
And
I don't think that should work.
yeah, and then some of the glass is like cracking, and you're seeing water coming through. Not enough to like affect you in any way. It's just background visuals, but it's like the whole thing is just creepy, and there's like the sense.
The villains too, like with any of the enemies are really creepy. I actually probably jumped more than almost any game I've played. I don't jump very much when I play a game. Like even in Alan Wake, I've gone through it a lot. I've had a few jumps, but BioShock, I jumped a lot. Like those things were fast. Just all die. Literally, they just sneak up on you. Like it was like I had no idea he was kind of there, kind of thing.
The big sisters are creepy as shit too. Yeah. And actually, I know the second one didn't fare very well on the reviews. I enjoyed it
was
immensely.
Just because you're already there.
Yeah,
I think that's what like the biggest hit on is like literally it was the same level or same world, but previous years. So like a lot of the halls, you felt like you were there already.
I mean, some of the villains, like they made them even scarier in the second one. Some of those weird like rabbit masks and like just like that was some good stuff. So
yeah, I'll have to give it to him. I'd actually have to say Fallout 3, not so much of Vegas, but Fallout 3 definitely had its creep horror moments when you're like dungeon crawling kind of thing.
I agree. Some definite jump moments,
especially when you had like giant, bugs coming after you. Those things are just creepy. You don't want giant bugs coming after you. Just the creep factor to Fallout 3.
All right. Aside from that, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to bring up, or else so we could just do our favorite horror movies. Maybe some suggestions.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Favorite horror movies. Literally, if you want a good
horror game.
Horror game.
Excuse me.
Let's see. I mean, I pretty much mentioned most of them right there.
I'll go first. Like I said, mine's either one of the BioShocks. You can take your pick. I'm very curious about the upcoming BioShock because it doesn't look like it's going to be as creepy. But I also love that whole world and that whole scenario and that whole situation.
Oh god, it looks beautiful too.
But for me, it's very. I would pick Zombies, but it's not technically its own standalone game from Call of Duty, so I won't use that. I will go with BioShock or the Left 4 Dead's.
I would have to say, overall, with like a kind of a creepy game like that, I'd have to say Killing Floor. I actually really know what?
I forgot about Killing Floor. Me and Mark play that on occasion. That's a lot of fun.
Killing Floor is a really good. Literally, it is like a Left 4 Dead with less story on it, but like the killing is just so much better.
I kind of suck at it because I don't play PC enough, and every time we revisit it, which is like once every 2 months, I have to like relearn the whole game, which sucks. But it is a fun game.
Yeah. That one's a really good one if you have PC. Always, I mean, I'll go Left 4 Dead, dude. I have so many good moments on that Left 4 Dead as well. Even though they keep updating it too, which is awesome by them. They need a new one of that. Other than that, I'd have to say Alan Wake series definitely is a try. If you're looking for a horror game, go for some Alan Wake.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd make those suggestions as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything we missed that's really big. But aside from that,
I mean, the Fear games, like the original ones, those are like they're good shooters.
Yeah, I don't have much.
They're creepy too.
Yeah. What's the one I'm thinking? Are Prototypes creepy? I haven't really played them. I know they got kind of a weird main character, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to say no to that.
Okay, rock on. Aside from that, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to say movie-wise, do you want to give some movie suggestions?
Yeah. I'll take a second to plug our thing. If nobody's heard of it yet, we started a second podcast. We do Blacklist, and we actually did two side episodes where we discussed horror movies at great length. But for me, I'll do 2, 3,
4,
3. Okay. on Halloween night, you can never go wrong with Michael Myers. I try to watch his, or actually I do watch the original Halloween virtually every Halloween night. That's the old faithful that everybody's seen, but I mean that is awesome for Halloween evening. If you're looking for a couple great horror movies that came out recently that you probably never heard of / never saw, I would highly suggest a movie called Trick or Treat. It's not or, it's actually Trick R Treat, with like an apostrophe. It came out
cool like that.
They're cool like that. That came out in like 2010. It's a couple years old. Really good, underrated movie. Not a lot of big name actors. Really, really good horror flick that came out recently. There's also another one that's a little out there. It's called Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. That's another really small, lower budget, but doesn't translate to lower budget. It's actually filmed really well. There's no big name actors. But it's really well done. Like, you can't tell that it was so low budget.
Yeah. And
it actually is a really good, creepy movie. So there's 2 suggestions of movies you may have never heard of or might have overlooked elsewhere. And I'd suggest watching those as the Halloween season approaches us.
I agree. Let's see. I have to say, my first movie, this is kind of like one of those comedy slashers. It's made by, one of the main actors is one of the guys from Firefly, and I can't remember his name. But anyway, it's called Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. It's freaking hilarious. Like, it's supposed to be a horror movie, but it ends up being like a comedy, and it's actually really, really funny the way they do it. It's kind of like a play off of like the bad horror movies, and they play off of that kind of thing. And there's other movie that does the exact same thing, and it came out last year, I think. Cabin in the Woods is actually really freaking good. It also plays off of the 4 kids go to the woods, which is the exact same thing that Tucker and Dale do. And literally both of them have these, giant twist of what changes it from, 20 other movies. Those are 2 fantastic ones. Otherwise, I'd have to say any of the George C. Romero, Land of the Dead movies. Any of those I love them all. So
No. And you can't go wrong with any of the old classics from the Universal Monsters either. The old Draculas and the old Frankenstein, the Mummy, stuff like that. Aside from that, you have anything you want to add?
Drew Brees really better do something.
Yeah, seriously, he's fucking both of us on our fantasy
He's
leagues.
fucking me. At least Colson get a touchdown for me. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, other than that, no, I got nothing then.
Like we said, sorry for the shortened cast. Everything was ridiculously tight this week. Everything will be back.
Business type stuff.
It's already really late, and we both have work in the morning. So sorry it's only about a half a show, but we wanted to get something out to you guys. So we hope you enjoyed. Aside from that, this has been episode 38. Tune in next week, same time, same place, and have a happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Eat lots of candy.
Bye, guys.
Go party. Goodbye.